Sports is brought to you by All Out Auto Repair, home of the $46 Saskatchewan and $66 Alberta Safety Inspection. Your complete automotive repair.
Time to turn things over to Moses for our first look at sports, Moses. And we're talking a little AJHL here, and we were kind of talking about this a bit yesterday, too. The Bobcats are definitely doing well, but you never know. There might be some missing pieces of the puzzle still.
Well, there you go. It's always nice to add depth to your team, and I think when you're making a big playoff push, it's always nice to have all four lines, all your D there, and if someone gets injured, it's always nice to have that extra guy who could fill in the spot. The AJHL trade deadline is fast approaching, and the Lloydminster Bobcats are looking for another key piece to put this team over the top in a competitive North Division. Kerry McCullough tells us where the Bobcats are sitting and how the team is faring as deadline day approaches.
Coming up on January 10th, the Alberta Junior Hockey League faces a deadline where there can be no more player transactions until the end of the season. The Lloydminster Bobcats are bearing down for this part of the year, which isn't exactly the easiest.
Ifs, ands, and buts, we could have been a lot better record-wise, but as far as we've played, we're close at times to being the team I really want to watch play all the time, and at other times we lose it, and that's the job of a coach to try to keep them focused and get them going in a different direction, because this is the toughest part of the season coming up.
The most recent player to be acquired is Mitch Deacon, who made the switch December 1st from the Olds Grizzlies. Curran insists he is happy with where the team is at right now, but they are still hoping for that #1 spot.
Well, I think you'd always wish you were sitting in first place, if you ask me. But at the end of the day, our team has done I think a very good job since the beginning of the season under the conditions we were losing we didn't have either one of our top two goaltenders even playing the first 3 or 4 games.
Although the team can't say what they may be looking for in a trade, Curran does offer some insight as to what he might be hoping for.
You always want to improve. I think if we could find ourselves a 50-goal scorer, maybe get Gretz to come back and play for a while would be nice. Probably another defenseman we'd like to get. As where we are right now, I wouldn't have a problem going into the playoffs with our team the way it is right now.
After the Christmas break, it can be hard to get back into the physical grind of hockey. The Bobcats, however, showed no signs of being on vacation, beating Grand Prairie 4-2 this past week.
I was happy with our performance, and it's a great, a game right after Christmas is a coach's nightmare because you just don't know how they're going to play. We did a good job.
Kerry McCullough, Newcap Sports.
The Lloydminster Bobcats are one of a few teams that have 3 goalies on their roster. Tyler Briggs has emerged as one of the best and improved it by getting an invite to the World Junior A Challenge and helping Team West catch the gold. Kerry McCullough got a closer look at Briggs in this week's Superstar Next Door.
Tyler Briggs knew he wanted to be a goalie from a very young age. The Sherwood Park native was an avid hockey fan who was instantly inspired by a certain all-star NHL goalie.
Obviously, just as a kid, I always had idols growing up, and Martin Brodeur was my idol. Watching Martin Brodeur, he was my favorite player, and just, I guess, the year they won the Stanley Cup and the gold medal, that's just right then and there, that's what got me hooked on it.
Briggs suffered an ankle injury in the first half of the season, but he didn't let that get him down and worked hard to rehabilitate himself and get back out on the ice.
At the beginning of the year, we just kind of limited my practicing time. Just as soon as I started getting sore, I'd go off the ice, and then we wouldn't injure it any further, and I guess that's just what really helped with the healing process with it. My ankle was bugging me basically the whole first half of the year, but right now it's feeling great. It's not sore at all, and it just feels 100%.
In his 3rd season with the Bobcats, the AJHL chose Briggs to represent Team West in the World Junior A Challenge in November. After playing against the best Junior A players from Canada, Sweden, Czech Republic, and more, Team West got the gold. Briggs may have only played 1 game, but relishes the experience.
That was definitely a highlight of my season so far. That was as soon as I found out I made the evaluation camp, that was what I was really trying to push for, was making the team. And I thought it was a long shot, but it all pulled through in the end, and the team just came together at the right time in the tournament.
Up next for Briggs is hopefully a scholarship in the United States. The competition to get a spot in the NCAA is fierce, but Briggs has a couple years to give it a shot.
Yeah, hopefully I get a scholarship this year. I'm trying to really push for it. If not, then definitely next year for sure, and trying to go the NCAA route.
Kerry McCullough, Newcap Sports.
Brought to you by your local BRP dealer. Power Merchants of St. Paul, Norsask of North Battleford, And RecTech Power Products of Lloydminster, your local BRP dealers.